While the president remained in Washington over the weekend, very snowy, he was ready and willing to do a deal with the Democrats to reopen the government. Nancy Pelosi and her crew left town. But, oh, they talked a good game.
Why punish people who are applying for food stamps because the president is having a temper tantrum? Open government first.
I hope they'll just do the right thing, reopen the government.
More border security, let's have at it. But while we're having that debate, let's reopen the government.
Come on, let's get down to business here. Open up this government tomorrow.
As I always say, forget what they say, look at what they do. As Democratic leaders adjourned the House on Friday, more than 30 Democratic members and their families needed to catch a chartered flight bound for the sunny shores of Puerto Rico. So while 800,000 government workers remain on furlough, these very concerned Democrats were living the high life at a beach resort in San Juan. Very nice. The trip came courtesy of 109 lobbyists from Facebook, Amazon, various unions, and Microsoft, the little people. Well, it was part of the Congressional Hispanic Caucus's Bold PAC retreat. The Democrats were purportedly there to survey the damage of Hurricane Maria and talk with various union groups. Now, remember that tidbit. Now, here's Senator Robert Menendez. He's taking a very personal interest in the local recovery efforts. Looks like instead of helping the hurricane victims, he's helping himself to a hurricane on the rocks. Now, let's face it, this is a liberal PAC junket paid for by the lobbyists so that congressmen and senators can frolic in the tropics with celebrities. Yes, the big congressional getaway fell on the same weekend, wouldn't you know, as Broadway megastar Lin-Manuel Miranda brought his Tony Award-winning musical Hamilton to the island with the original cast, no less. Well, imagine the luck. The media have been tripping over themselves praising Miranda for his tireless efforts to bring Hamilton to Puerto Rico as a fundraiser to support the arts on the island. It's a nice thing. The plan was to perform the musical for 3 weeks, smash success, at the theater at the University of Puerto Rico. Now, there's a really interesting backstory that got lost in all the gauzy coverage. It's the alma mater of Lin-Manuel's father. The Miranda family charity raised $1 million to restore and upgrade the storm-ravaged theater. Good stuff. But this led to a shutdown of a different sort. It turns out the University of Puerto Rico is roiled by union protests. And one of those unions sent a letter to Miranda's father.
The letter ended up saying there are real problems at the University of Puerto Rico, and we want to advise bad things, protests can happen around your production.
Now, Lin-Manuel Miranda has been all for protests. He and his family have long supported left-wing causes, and he's even mined his Hamilton score for protest songs.
Yeah, you'll blow us all away someday, someday. Don't stop, don't give up until these families are reunited. Thank you.
Well, the New York Times quotes some students at the University of Puerto Rico who were less than thrilled that Hamilton would be coming to campus. Try to figure this out. One said, quote, "The only artists and people that benefit from Hamilton are the elite white North American settlers, the rich bourgeoisie, and those who actively participate and aspire to become oppressors. As a Latin person, he should be more conscious of who Hamilton was. He's glorifying a person that represents oppression. He could have made a show about Harriet Tubman." Well, in addition to the union groups, students were also threatening to protest the production on campus. So how did Mr. "They're not taking away my shot" react in the face of the leftist threats? Well, sadly, he caved to the pressure and moved the production to an arts center off campus. Miranda gave in to mob rule. He also missed a huge opportunity, with the world press looking on, no less, to challenge and educate the illiberal forces undermining free speech on campus, even art that pretty much supports their agenda. If these college nuts are emboldened enough to go after their favorite son, who just gave them $1 million to rebuild their theater, what can other performers expect? And Lynn, what would Hamilton have done?
It was an ovation like none other. Cathartic after so much pain. the ultimate tribute to Puerto Rico's resiliency.
Well, Miranda never looked back. The whole controversy and the entire episode in capitulation to these leftist kooks was lost in a swirl of celebrity and glamour, just the way the left likes it. Oh, and some of those 30-plus visiting Democrats were right there plodding along in the audience Sunday night. But poor babies, they had to buy their own Hamilton tickets, according to reports. But don't worry, they got to attend an after-party with the cast for free, courtesy of the Latino Victory. It's a liberal PAC. You see, the elites always stick together. I bet they thought they were in the room where it happened, even if they weren't. And that's the angle.